many of us know, stunning imagery can do more than simply capture our imagination. It can also educate, inform, and connect. Urban wildlife photographer Peter Green does all of those things and more in his new book, Providence Raptors, and he joins me now here this morning to chat more all about it, as well as a very cool new project, a bird-themed gift box, which I can't wait to hear more about. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here. First of all, I love the book. I was thumbing through it, and it's just spectacular. You've done a remarkable job with it. But before we get into specifically what it is and what people can expect with it, let's talk about your career as an urban wildlife photographer, what that really is, and kind of how you found your way to this.
All right, excellent. Well, I actually make my living as a graphic designer. So I work downtown at home, and I'm in my loft downtown a lot. And about 10 years ago, when I moved in here, I started to notice birds outside my window, which I never really paid too much attention to until I moved downtown here in Providence. And one day there was a flock of pigeons flying past my window in a frenzy. And one of the pigeons left the flock and went up to the top of the Superman building. And I wondered why that one left and the other one. So I pulled out some binoculars and looked at it. And it turned out it wasn't a pigeon after all. It was a falcon, I learned. And I just got hooked on watching them. I was able to talk to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, who put bans on the baby falcons every year. And they let me attend about 10 years ago and photograph that event. And since then, everything has snowballed. I started my blog, providenceraptors.com, to tell the stories of the hawks and falcons that live downtown. And I hooked up with a lot of local organizations like the Audubon Society of Rhode Island, the Wildlife Clinic. It gives me lots of adventures with birds. There's always something happening, a bird that needs release, or a bird being born, or a bird hunting.
So let's talk about the book itself, Providence Raptors. It's really very well done. I can't commend you enough on the packaging and how really nice it is and what's inside, of course. But let's talk about what's inside there for people who decide to pick it up.
Well, you'll get a lot of stories about our local birds, which is great. You'll see a lot of local architecture, too. You've got the Superman building that's been unoccupied for, I think, 8 years now, except the falcons are the only ones who live up on top. And over on Independent Man on the state capitol, there'll be red-tailed hawks perching there a lot. So it's a collection of 200 photos and 20 stories about the birds in Providence, life, death. It's also tips that you can do to help them survive. There's some dangers in this city, like rat poisons and glass, and there are things that you can do. Even keeping your pet cat inside will help save birds. So the book is filled with pictures, educational stories, and tips to help you help the raptors.
Yeah, it's very cool, like I said, and I really think people will enjoy it. So let's talk about this bird-themed gift box. Now, I have it right here. It is packed with so many awesome things. And let's talk about what's inside this thing, what people can expect, and really how you're working with Ohanga, a great new store.
Well, yeah, it was a lot of fun to put that together. I did the book on my own about 6 months ago. And then earlier this year, I read an article about Ohanga, and they're a local startup company started by people who left the tech industry during the pandemic, and they wanted to do something more creative. So they started this online community to help local creative people, artists, writers, photographers, even bakers. And when I reached out to them, it was great because when I went to their website, there was a picture of an osprey in a nest on there. It turns out that Ohanga means nest in a Polynesian New Zealand language from the natives in New Zealand. So it was really a nice connection at first. They do these gift boxes in general, and they came up with the idea for me to curate the bird box. And I got Audubon involved and some local artists that I like, and it's great. You've got books, trail guides, special exclusive wooden bookmarks, ceramics, owl felt toys, pins. So it's educational and it's fun. It's for everybody, different ages as well.
Yeah, there's lots of cool things contained within it. I think people will really like it. But actually, I just wanted to make sure here, Peter, that this is not included, though, right? That's not one of the...
That is not included. Every bird is not.
The rarest of all birds, all kidding aside. But if we do want to grab the box and or your book, where can we do so, buddy?
Definitely go to providenceraptors.com, my website. Well, the book is from me, providenceraptors.com. The box is at ohanga.com. Or go to their Newport store, which has opened last month. Then other bookstores, we've got Symposium Books, Books on the Square, Barrington Books, Carmen and Ginger and Tiverton, and of course the Audubon Society in Bristol.
Yeah, so many great ways to support local, like you said, and that's what we're all about right here on the Road Show. So it's a pleasure to welcome you to join me here today, Peter. Thank you very much, and really best of luck with what you're doing. It's terrific work.
I appreciate it. And, I'll let your viewers know one more thing. The Audubon Society has got a webcam on these falcons, and their eggs are going to hatch any day now. So go to asri.org, turn on the webcam, and you can watch these falcons raise their babies right here in downtown Providence.
Very, very cool. Well, thanks again for joining us, Peter.
Thank you.
If you guys out there would like more information or to get to the links that Peter just mentioned so you can pick up the great book, the box, to learn more, all that great stuff, we'll have it posted at rojo.com.